Hey guys, Ricardo here and welcome to another blog tech tips. Here guys, I have a Samsung A13 and of course the display is broken. For example, if I try to power it up, at best I'll only get a vibration. And if I press and hold the power, nothing happens. Alright, so this is the back of the device. It has a case on. Alright, so I'm going to show you to change the display. Again, notice I'm pressing the power button. Nothing is happening. So it's completely dead. And of course, I'm going to show you what it looks like outside of the case. At best, you only get vibration when you plug it in, indicating charging, but you can't actually see anything. Alright, so this is what it looks like outside of its case. This is the back of the device. Alright, so we already have the display, so let's get straight into the screen replacement. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and remove the SIM tray. Of course, this one was removed already. I didn't receive it with a SIM tray in place. So if it's not, go ahead and use your SIM tool and actually eject the SIM. Next step is we're going to get the guitar pick and we're going to get into the grooves here. So of course you need to get between the seams to remove the plastic back. The trick here is to get the pick into the seams here. You can actually start at the SIM tray. What you're going to do here is going to run it along here to separate the back. As you can see, it gets into the groove. Simply continue along here to cause separation. Alright, so you're going to do this around. Be careful of the edges. They're very delicate. As it relates to the corners, make sure you go around. It's a bit tricky. It might even pressure the tool a bit, but make sure you go around. Alright, so you're going to continue along the edges here. Be super careful and keep going around and separate. Be extra careful on this side. You do have sensors right here that you do not want to cut along the power button and the volume buttons along this side here. Alright guys, so do not force it open. There's a cable here as I said earlier. So simply after separating from the right side, carefully open up. Alright, so you can see the cable right there. Alright, so that's what connects this section to the back. There you go. So this is the insides. Alright, so we're going to start removing the screws. I'm going to get my handy tool set. And of course, we're going to choose one of the bits from out of this. Alright, I'm using my own tools, not the one that comes in the box for the for this replacement screen. So of course here, I'm going to choose this first bit. Alright, so I'm going to remove this screw here. There you go. We can always keep it here or place it over here. They're all the same screws basically. Alright, so once that's off, I'm gonna remove the lens cover. So it's easy, simply remove it. I'm using the spudger tool. There you go. And of course I'll keep it here and I'll keep the screws towards the back there. Alright guys, so now we're going to remove all these extra screws. So they're all over the place, so remove all of them. I might skip sections of this. Alright, so we have removed all the screws that are here. They're right here. And what we're going to do next, guys, is we're going to use the spudger. And we're going to disconnect the back cover over there. If the spudger doesn't work, you can always use a tool like this. And we're going to remove this. There you go. Flicks right up. This has a little bit more reach. The back cover is now removed. We're going to secure this to the side with its single screw while I have the other screws right there. Alright guys, so we're going to use this spudger tool here. There's a flat end and a sharp end right here. And we're going to go to the side here and we're going to remove the cover. So there's a small gap here as well. So anywhere you can to lift, get it in. You can actually use this side here to lift. Simply get in there to actually lift it up. Make sure all the screws are out. All right, there you go. And it lifts up. We're gonna have this back in. We're gonna place this over here. The lens tend to shift, so you may want to secure them in place. All right, next we can disconnect the battery so there's no power running through the device. I'll switch back to this one. It has better reach. So there you go. It disconnects the battery and we have isolated power from the main board. All right, so next I'm gonna disconnect the sub board, which is this lower section here. So this is what carries the power up to this section here. So we're gonna carefully remove it so it disconnects easily. All right, guys, so there's a single screw right here. We're gonna remove this. This is the main screw that's holding down the board, the main board. It's black. And of course, we're gonna get that out. So there you go. We're gonna secure this as well. It's easy to remember as it will hold or have the main board in place. So later on when we're replacing it, we'll know that it's different as it's black. We're gonna remove all the lower screws here for the subboard and remove the protective shield. All right, so we're gonna remove the board now that the screws are removed. You can actually see the screws there. All right, so we're gonna look for some spots that we can actually lift. So we're gonna get the tool into these spots or anywhere that can be used to lift. All right, so easy way to lift these. Simply look for any gaps here and it will give you some leverage to lift. Be careful though. You might need to get a tool up in here. Be very careful as you're going around. And as you can see, it pops right off, but be careful not to insert too far. All right, so this is the piece that came off. You can place it into the back tray. And there you go. This is the subboard. All right, so now that we're here, there's a screw here to remove. It holds the board in place. And of course, we're gonna disconnect this connector right here. So it's easy again, use this tool. There you go, pops right off. And we're gonna remove the screw that's right here, carefully. All right. So each board is held in place by a block screw. So wherever you see the block screws, one for each board. So I'm gonna place it here. All right, so next, now that we have removed those, we're gonna lift both boards. So both have been released. So we're gonna lift the upper and lower board. You can start with the lower. So simply get a tool beneath to actually start lifting it. Be careful. All right, so as you can see, it lifts right up. You can carefully then remove the channels here. All right, now that it's loose, you can actually do the top board. So be very careful. So we're gonna carefully lift the top board, the top section. All right, for the board here, I'm not gonna pry here. I have the flat end. I'm gonna pry right here, carefully. Should lift without, if you're getting any resistance, take your time. Make sure not to flex or damage the board. Another thing with the board, you can pry here a bit. As soon as you start lifting, you can tug here a bit. So be careful, there's stuff underneath, so simply tug here. As soon as you get some lift, tug at the top and it will come right up. All right, so now guys, the lower and upper board will easily remove. So you can carefully hold them by the edges. And we have separated all of these. So as you can see here, it removes as one. All right, so We're going to put this aside. I'm going to store it in the back cover. Alright, so as you can see now, we're way down. Alright guys, at this stage we're going to check to see what we got with the new screen. Alright, the new display comes in this box. It says open here. I'm going to cut that. It's brand new. As you can see, it's sealed. Alright, so I've broken the seal. Alright, so we get the usual stuff. So we got all of these tools. And of course it comes with suction cup and stuff. I'm going to place this up here in case I need anything from it. And of course it comes with this. I like this because this can be used to remove the battery. We got stickers and dust absorbers. We have what seems to be some form of adhesive. I'm not sure if it's for the battery, most likely. And that's it for the main contents. Alright, so this is the sleeve with the bubble wrap. Alright, so this is the new display. As you can see, brand new. Alright, so it's a match basically. Alright, so you can check them out. All the blue stuff has to come out. You can see the section for the battery. And of course, we're going to take out all of these here, which includes the speakers, then remove and transplant them over. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to switch these around. Alright, so I'm going to remove the vibration motor right here. So in order to get that out, I'm going to get this in. Alright, so we're going to look at the position. Notice where it is in terms of it's set like this, and there's the contacts there. So we're going to try to. Alright, so that pop right out, so be careful. Alright, so you want to avoid damaging it. So be careful, it will pop right up. So I'm going to place this over here. This is the new one. Alright, so we're going to pop this into its place. Alright, so there you go. It fits right in. There you go, it's in solid. Okay, so we're going to remove all the key components. As you can see, the board doesn't have certain components. So we're going to remove this one, this, and anything else that needs to be transplanted in a new board. Alright, you might have to apply heat to this one to remove. In terms of applying heat, a hair dryer will work fine. So this is my handy hair dryer. Or you can use a heat gun. Alright, so I've applied the heat and I'm going to lift this now. So go ahead and use a spudger tool and remove. Alright, be super careful not to damage it. It can separate into two very easily. So make sure that you lift and you get it from all the way from the base. It will snap into place in the new one. As you can see, it fits right in here. So simply transplant it. For the speaker, apply heat. Then you're going to use a tweezer tool like this one. You're going to go beneath, meaning in front, and lift. Go ahead and remove the plastic. There you go, it transplants easily. While it's still hot or warm, it will snap right into place. So you have done the vibration and now the speaker. Next, we're going to remove the battery. We're going to need this tool. We're going to use some heat. We're going to lift and we're going to use the tool to remove the adhesive. You can also use isopropanol alcohol, 99% or 90% and above. You're going to place it in to loosen the battery. Alright, so the battery is removed. And let me show you how I got it out. So of course you can use the methods I explained earlier. Or I have a toolkit that has a paddle and some tools. So what I did was to carefully use this to lift. Then I got this under to cut the adhesive. Alright, so this is the tool set. It comes with a bunch of stuff. And there's a whole heap of stuff related here to battery removal that can get underneath the batteries. Alright, so I'm going to link the toolkit. It's very good. And this is super flat and it's very, has a good edge. I also heat the battery as well with a little heat. So it comes off. This is the old adhesive. We're going to flatten the surface of this. Alright, so I simply use a tool and get out these from removing or prying out the battery. Alright, so I've removed everything from the old screen. As you can see, everything is removed. we're going to transplant the battery now, but we need to carefully remove this. Alright, so it has some adhesive here. Alright, so we're going to stick the new battery in, or should I say the new display. I'm going to install the battery. Alright, so it sticks right in, and I'm going to remove all of these plastics that's left over here, and then I'm going to place the motherboard back. Be very careful, there's adhesive beneath here for everything to stick in place. Alright, so I'm going to place the motherboard back. So I'm going to retrieve it. There you go. We're going to place this in. We're going to align it. We're going to start from the subboard here to place it back in. Now that it's in, we're going to connect the display. So we're going to connect this jumper by snap it in to place. There you go. It snaps back into place. If you remember the black screw from earlier, we're going to replace that to fix the board. Alright, so there you go. It's back in. It goes right here and it secures the subboard. I'm going to secure the cables here. So we're going to make sure it's back into its place. Red beneath and the white on top. You can also place the board back into alignment, which is the upper section. The board here should fall into place, and of course this will be on top. Finish placing in the red and the white at the side. When you're satisfied with the alignment, go ahead and replace the black screw that belongs at the top. It belongs right here. Alright, so it's in. Alright, now we're gonna reattach the display connector, make sure it fits. Alright, so we have snapped this in place. It should fit if it's the right part. So it's connected. We're gonna connect the battery. Alright, so the battery is in and the display connector is on. We're gonna place on the cover for this section. Place all the screws back in. Alright guys, so everything is back in place. Almost forgot guys, there's a key thing here. Depending on your screen, sometimes the screens do not come with the sensor here. The device will not be able to power on. So if you check out the whole casing, there is actually a sensor here, and you can see it here. You're gonna go ahead and you can lift using the tweezer tool. You'll notice it will lift. You'll have to transplant this over onto the new one. Alright, so we're gonna eat this and we're gonna lift it off and we're gonna transplant it. You may have to remove this again to reinstall. Alright, so there you go, it lifts right off. I'd prefer a case that comes with it, but it still can be transplanted. Alright guys, so here's the old board with the sensor removed. And of course, you have to use a tool like this, as I said. And it goes in nicely while the adhesive is still on. Simply stick it in place. As you can see, it's here. And you can see it transplants successfully. Forgive me for that guys, because you would think they would just include this. You can remove this, remove the one screw here, lift, and then of course when you're finished, you can reseat the board and reconnect both connectors. Alright guys, so everything is in, so you can see the sensor transplanted, back cover on, so we're going to reassemble the upper section. Alright, so we're going to place on the plastic cover, which is this one. So we're going to carefully put it in place and snap it in. Alright, so it's on, we're going to screw it down. Alright guys, so we're going to put on the plastic cover. So here we go. But before you put on the plastic cover, there's a sensor here to attach. So we're going to get our back cover. Then you can bring it alongside here. You're going to slide over and you're going to connect. Alright, so it's connected. In case you have problems getting it in, use a spudger tool and carefully press. It will snap right in. There you go, it's snug. Then you can actually place this back on. Alright, so once we're finished with this stage, what we're going to do is we're going to fold this back over. But do remember the remaining screws before you fold it back over. Yeah, alright, so make sure that you check for any missing screw areas. If it's not going in, it means it doesn't belong there, so be super careful not to place screws in the wrong sections. We're going to close the back cover. Simply carefully bring it back over. And there you go, guys. It's back up. It's booting up for the first time. And unlike before where it was not working, it's now fully working. And the button that you transplanted was actually the volume button. So you don't want that to work, so make sure you transplant that. Alright, so it's starting up. And this one is successfully fixed from this old display to this new one. Alright, so there you go. You want to go ahead and test the display fully now. Make sure touch is working and make sure everything is responsive. There you go, it's working fine. Touch is working, which is a very good sign. Alright, so this is a successful fix, thank God. And of course, guys, we're good to go. Alright, see you next one, guys. Bye.